So here we are, midway through season 4, and so we're going to continue with our tier list for the mentors. They happen to be the two most popular videos on my channel. Love them or hate them, love them or hate how I say the names, but we're going to go ahead and do, I guess this is going to be the third video? So right now, as of to date, the most recent VR mentor is Nagato. He is not on this list yet, they haven't added him. So I'm going to go ahead and just say, opening it up, he's going to be between A and S. He's kind of broken. That's why he's pretty high. So let me go ahead and break down and explain what the tiers mean to me. So D rank means they're semi-useful. You might find some of the jutsus useful in one situation. D rank is right there. You might find their jutsus used in multiple situations, whether it's capture the flag, base battle. Once we start getting to B and above, B is where you're going to start finding most people will have these VR mentors jutsus in their builds, whether it's in combat, base battle, flag battle. You'll start finding these abilities a lot more common. A rank, again, you're going to find these even more common. Some of them will be even more specific situational. And then S rank is, movesets that people are extremely common with, and, also broken, abilities that I consider to be broken, godly, tier, however you want to look at it, cheese, whatever you want to describe it. They're the top of the top for a reason, in my opinion. And so we'll go from there, starting in starting in D. So in the D ranking, I have Sadara, Yamato, Shikamaru, and Choji. I put them there just mainly because everyone on this list is going to be useful in a particular battle, in a particular game mode, but what Sadara has for healing later in the game, especially with the DLCs, you'll have way better abilities there for you. Yamato, again, he's great for entry-level defense, but Gaara's better, Jiraiya is better, Obito is better. You just have more diversity of abilities, more diversity of effects that are available to you. Shikamaru, again, his ult's pretty good. He falls in much more of a support role, not a heal role. So I think they misclassified him, and I always will say they misclassified him. So as a support character, he would go further up on the list. But as a straight someone, if you're going to queue up and you want to have a healer, his abilities, again, don't lend themselves to healing. And, they are a little bit hard to catch people in if you're not used to doing shadow possession. And then again, Choji, his ult isn't the easiest to hit. It's not very user friendly. He does have Human Boulder, which is pretty good in flag battle, but there's definitely jutsus out there that are going to be better for the defense type. And partial expansion jutsu, they're all okay. If you're just starting out, you'll learn them, and then you'll throw those abilities away as they go. In the C ranking is really where the cream of the crop is, and where you're going to find all of the original VR mentors for a reason. All the DLC, especially from DLC Season 3 and now 4, they've added so much more to the abilities, the jutsus, different phases like you have with Nagato, different alts. Just, there's a separation, in my opinion, between the original set of VR mentors and then the DLC, and with every season pass they tend to get a little bit better. We have Hinata. Air Palms is always a great ability. There's Byakugan, but the new Sakura has an ability that pretty much does the same thing. And her Twin Line Fist is a decent enough ult if you're going to be running as a support type, not a heal type. You have the original Naruto. Need I say more? For him, we have 2 more Narutos on the list, so he's naturally not going to be better than the other 2. Gaara, again, pretty good for a starting off defense type. You might still see Sand Shield out there. You definitely will see Sand Shower. Deidara, or as I like to call it, and it triggers everyone, Deidara. Really, in other than kind of niche scenarios, all you really kind of see out of him is a C2 dragon. Kisame did get a little bit of a buff recently. His Shark Bomb, they made it to where it targets a little bit better. His Subterranean Voyage is obviously good in multiple situations, and then Super Shark Bomb, a little bit difficult to hit for, newer players who don't understand it. I always look at it kind of like a shotgun. Pain probably should be maybe a little bit higher, but Universal Pull, Push, and then Planetary Devastation, all pretty decent moves, but again, you may end up surviving and never even using those abilities. Itachi's a character who probably should get more love, but doesn't. Kabuto, you have Feather Illusion and Nervous System Rupture, both good abilities, but other than Nervous System Rupture, that's kind of the only one that you really see. His other heal is not very good. Conan, you have decent abilities for Flag Battle. The original Boruto, okay abilities when you're just starting out. You don't know who you're gonna be. You don't know who you're gonna be buying. Uzumaki Barrage is all, but they're okay. Mitsuki could be a little bit higher because his Snake Thrust and Ripple. Snake Thrust breaks. Sage Mode's always good. Adds a little bit extra healing. Then we're gonna move on to Killer B. Killer B, really Octo Hug is kind of where it at. You can use his other abilities, but you're probably gonna find a better combination with Octo Hug if you elect to use his abilities. Rock Lee, very much the same. His abilities break guard. You can kind of use his abilities as a cheesy capture the flag build, but there's definitely better people on the list that you can use those abilities. And then his ult, heals you, but again, there's definitely better ults on the table. The original Sasuke, Dori, Fireball Jutsu, and Kirin, all decent abilities, but you will find higher level tier abilities out there. Orochimaru, Hiruzen, and Sai kind of all fall into the same category respectively. You may enjoy one person's jutsu. This is just my opinion. Now we're gonna move up to the B ranking. This is where things start to get a little bit more interesting. The 4th Shinobi War Sakura is up there. She has a buff ability just like Hinata, and then her ult, not only does it heal your team, you also get a second phase where you can do a little bit of damage. That alone is going to make her just slightly more useful if you're using her abilities as either a support character, a hybrid character, or a pure healer. Onoki, he is a pure support character, but you will find a lot of groups that are using pre-mades, or a group of 4 who are communicating together. You'll see that sometimes you'll come across their support character using the heavy boulder jutsu to slow you down, to make it more difficult for you to kind of evade, and as they're on top of you, hammering away. The new Boruto, he might be deserved to be a little bit lower than he is on this list. His new water jutsu is pretty cool. I kind of like it, and his Karma Seal is, again, pretty cool. I kind of like it. Jiraiya, bring down the house jutsu, acts just like Kirin, but Needle Jizo is pretty great. And then you also get Total Oil. You don't see that one as much anymore, but it's still out there. Obito, you used to see his all the time, still do occasionally, but you do see his Kamui, and Kamui is definitely super useful in capture the flag, base battle, barrier battle. The same thing goes with, the Mangekyo Sharingan Kakashi version. Hashirama, I feel like a B rank is pretty good. He's better than average. There's probably jutsus out there that are better than what he has to bring to the table. His ult takes quite a long time. Wood Dragon's very good. Buddha Hands used to be very popular. Not so much anymore. Minato, right there, kind of with Hashirama. Flying Raijin level 1 and 2, respectively, you can use them in any game mode, but I personally use Flying Raijin level 1 in Capture the Flag. Flying Raijin level 2, you're going to see much more commonly in combat battle and base battle. And then his ult's pretty decent. You will see people use it, but I think that there's better alternatives for ults depending on the game mode. Kakashi is right there. Depending on your game mode, you may love the Sharingan in the pit or survival mode. His lightning blade people will use in Capture the Flag builds. And then Kamui is a little bit difficult to hit if you're not used to it. Once you get it down, you'll notice it's quite easy. It's a great one-shot ability. Haku, I've seen some people use Haku's abilities who are quite skilled players and completely dominate. He has a little kind of ice trap. His ult, again, I always feel like it should do more because the amount of damage you're outputting, I always feel like it should be a one-shot. Great shadow clone. I love the ice clone. The Haku is a B, and I feel pretty comfortable with that one. My guy is one of those characters. He could be a C rank, he could be a rank, he could be an S rank, all depending on your opinion. Dynamic Entry is a good one. He gets the Power of Youth, which is a little bit of a buff. I've seen people use that in combination with Inoki's ability and Neji's Hit-on Strike, and they just kind of nuke you down. And then, of course, the 8 inner gates. 8 inner gates is cool to use because you have access to Sekizo, but you will die. You know, just like in the anime, you will die. And then you also have access to Night Guy while you're in the inner gates. Neji should not have been a DLC character, but he was. Yeah, you get his ult 64 palms. His air palm is kind of really the bread and butter of his build. Nukes your ability to sub, and has a pretty easy rate to hit. So I feel a B rank is suitable for him. A ranking, we're looking at some people who have some abilities that I feel that are very useful. So we're gonna start off with Tsunade. She has nervous system rupture, which I believe I said for Kabuto. Kabuto has chakra scalpel. Tsunade has nervous system rupture, where it makes your controls a little bit backwards. It's annoying, but it's easily countered. Her ult is very good. It's right there with the 4th Ninja War Sakura, but that Sakura doesn't. She's not as high on the list just because her other ability, it's good. The buffing ability, you do have to be closer. And I just feel that Tsunade's ult is just a little bit better for a healing ability. Then we have Shisui. Controversial opinion. Leave this in the comments if you agree or disagree. The most overrated character in Naruto, in my opinion. But you will find his abilities all over the battlefield, increasing the user speeds, which really helps people hunt down and capture the flag, or get the edge and capture the flag. All again, you'll see used again and capture the flag. Now we have EMS Kakashi. You'll see his ult a little bit. You'll definitely see his Chidori. You'll definitely see his lightning blade, and you'll see his Kamui being used in capture the flag battles. Zabuza, hit and miss jutsu is pretty good. Seldomly seen, but can be very annoying. Great to combo with the Mizukage's fog. He also has 2 abilities, though one water prism jutsu is somewhat a little bit difficult to hit, but you can hold people in place. And then Demon Slash. Demon Slash is great for both offensive and defensive capabilities. Whether you're defending the base, attacking, you'll see a lot of people using that skill. The original base Sakura, again, my tonic regeneration revives and heals your teammates, and cellular activation. It's very hard to find in any combat scenario where if you're having a healer who doesn't use that ability, they may be out there, but that's a very common ability, and that alone gets her into A rank. Tobirama, one of my personal favorites in the game. You have Water Dragon, I've talked about 1,000 times, and you have Tana Paper Bomb, a great ability. You can also team it up with your teammate who's doing Universal Pull. You can pull with Sasuke's ability, pull them right in there. You can teleport them in there, set up a little trap. Great ability. Ino's long distance heal, you'll see all the time being used. Somewhat OP, but it doesn't do a ton of healing. It's enough to maybe sustain your teammates who happen to be in a casual fight, who's not, facing a 2v1 or a 3v1. But the long distance heal is really where it's at. You can use Mind Transfer Jutsu, and the ult is pretty good, but the long distance heal is really where it's at. The Mizukage Mi's Vapor Fog and Water Pillar are very clutch abilities. The Water Pillar you can use, it's pretty much a water shield, and Vapor Fog, it surprises me that even today I'm still catching a ton of people in it, still getting a bunch of kills with it. It's a great ult, and it has a short cast time, or short charge time I should say. Last in the A ranking we have the Boruto version of Sasuke. He just has so many moves. He was late in the DLCs. I mean, you can use his Rinnegan to teleport, swap. His ult you see very commonly. I use his pull. A lot of people use that for pitfall builds. He has I think another Chidori, but I could be wrong. I forget. And then last, we're going to talk about the S rank ones. People who you'll always see these abilities, or they're a little bit broken. We're going to move right to left on this one. We're going to talk about Madara, Majestic Destroyer Flame, his ult, but really Majestic Destroyer Flame. You see that all the time. Hiding in Ash is a great ability. Help heals you. Pretty much operates like Subterranean, but heals you. Capture the flag, base battle, anytime you want to avoid being damaged. But really, how often do you go into a mode and you don't see someone shooting a Majestic Destroyer Flame at you? Hokage Naruto, his ult, the Kurama Link mode is fantastic. Both of his abilities are great. They have status elements that they do. Whether they hinder you, they're great. And then it leaves me to the last Naruto, which I believe is the third Naruto, and a support Naruto, which I disagreed with this character all around because I didn't think we needed another Naruto in the game. But here we are, and we have him. And so he has a revive, which is kind of OP, but you have to be literally right on top of the character to revive them. He also has the ability to throw the Sage Six Paths balls at you and completely nuke your ninjutsu and your tool. And I believe it even does substitution, but if it's not the substitution, it's definitely the ninjutsu and your tool. It doesn't affect your ult, and it makes the recharge on it super slow. Not only that, you are able to move around within the ball for a period of time, so it gives you a little bit extra of the shield. And then his ult's actually not super OP. I mean, it's definitely OP, but it's not like this incredibly super fast, super easy ult to hit with. So it kind of balances out there. But again, I think his character is broken, as well as maybe the new Nagato character. His character might be broken. and I put him right up there in the S rank. He gets the ability, and I'll probably pop a little character in on the video right on the S rank, because it's not in this tier list. He gets the ability to go invisible as a range type, and it slows you down, but it doesn't slow you down that much. It does slow you down a little bit. His new jutsu, where you're able to, they were referring to it as in one of the Facebook groups as making it sound like the 4th of July, where you're just shooting a bunch of cannons. Spam that. They're not perfect by any stretch, but you can definitely catch some people lacking with it and do quite a bit of damage. And his ult, the thing I do like about his ult, the ghetto statue, is it's not very easy to hit, and it really has a negative impact to the user, much like Might Guy's, where it leaves you with 1 HP. It also puts your ninjutsu on cooldown, so you're kind of, it's definitely risk versus reward. How bad do you wanna, how big the risk versus reward? Do you really need to kill that guy? Are you gonna maybe use a different ult? I would, but that's my quick assessment of the current VR mentors in the game currently. I'm sure there's people who disagree with it, just like my other 2 videos. Go ahead and place a comment. Maybe I disrespected your favorite VR mentor, and maybe I got it right. But leave your opinion down there. My other 2 videos that I did this have done great. They're around almost 20K each. I thank you guys for that. Please like and subscribe and join the Discord channel, and we will catch you guys all in the lobby next time.